The wind over the pterosaur's abyss tastes of salt and fear. Gil grips the fire-hardened shaft of his spear, his knuckles white against the dark wood. Below him, the sea churns, a slate-grey monster chewing on the base of the cliffs. Above, the sky is a canvas of leathery wings and sharp, piercing cries. This is the Whispering Ledge, the highest point of the Wind-Rider settlement. And this is his first Sky-Vigil. For 3 suns and 3 moons, he is the sole guardian of Nest-13. His purpose is absolute. The 3 large, leathery eggs within must remain untouched. They are not his clan's future, but they are the key to it. This is the pact. The ancient and sacred symbiosis that allows his people to live where no other ancient humans can. The adult pteranodon circles high overhead, a silent promise and a constant weight. She trusts him. Generations of trust are woven into the very rock here. A living history etched in layers of guano and the worn handholds that ascend the cliff face. In return for this guardianship, the great flyers provide. They are messy eaters. The silver rain of fish scraps that showers down from the rookery feeds the clan. And their dried guano, the ember-dust, burns slow and hot in the hearth-caves. A constant warmth against the biting ocean winds. It is a perfect balance. A delicate thread of inter-dependence spun across the chasm between mammal and reptile. It is a thread now being tested. A subtle shift in the air, a change in the tenor of the rookery-esque calls, prickles the skin on Kayle's arms. The usual cacophony of squawks and guttural clicks sharpens into a series of staccato alarms. His eyes scan the cliff face below. A sheer wall of granite and fossilized bone. For a moment, there is nothing but the wind and the waves. Then, a shadow detaches itself from the larger shadows of the rock. It moves with a fluid, horizontal purpose that is utterly unnatural. It is low, sinewy, and its skin is a mottled grey-green that drinks the dim light. Kayle's breath catches, a Deinonychus. He has trained for this since he could walk. Striking at wooden effigies, his father's voice a low growl in his ear. Aim for the eye, the throat, never the flank. But the training effigies did not have eyes that glittered with cold, analytical intelligence. They did not have a sickle-shaped talon on each foot, held aloft like a sacrificial knife. The creature pauses, its head cocked, taste in the air. Its gaze locks onto the nest, and then onto Kale. It is not just a dumb beast. It is a problem-solver. It sees him not as a threat, but as an obstacle. With a low hiss, it begins to climb, its claws finding impossible purchase on the sheer rock. This is the moment that defines the life of every Wind-Rider. A test of survival skills against a nightmare from the deep earth. A single protector, a lone spear, standing between his people's way of life and the relentless hunger of the dinosaurs below. There is no time for thought, only for the deep bone knowledge of his ancestors. Kale leans out over the abyss, planting his feet on the worn stone, and thrusts the spear downwards. The polished tip bites into the climbing Deinonychus's shoulder, a dark line of crimson welling around the flint. The creature lets out a piercing, bird-like shriek of fury and pain, its claws scrabbling against the rock before it lets go. Tumbling a short distance before catching itself on a lower outcrop, it glares up, its reptilian brain recalibrated, processing the unexpected resistance. But it was a feint. The shriek was not just of pain, but a signal from the left, moving with terrifying speed along a traverse Gale hadn't seen. A second attacker emerges. It is on him before he can fully recover his spear. The world becomes a blur of teeth and claws. He swings the heavy wooden shaft like a club, the impact jarring his arms as it connects with the creature's ribs. The raptor is knocked sideways but not off the cliff. Its sickle-claw lashes out, scoring deep gouges in the wood of his spear. Inches from his hand, he is trapped. His single, traditional weapon is useless against a coordinated assault. One attacker draws his attention while the other moves in for the kill. This is how they hunt. This is how they dismantle the defenses of a triceratops herd. And this is how he will die. Desperation becomes the mother of invention. Pushed back against the rocky wall of the ledge, his heels nearly touching the precious eggs, Kayla's gaze falls upon a loose pile of shale and heavy, fist-sized stones, the debris of seasons. It is nothing, useless rubble, but his mind, sharpened by adrenaline, sees it for what it could be, a weapon of the mountain itself. This is the dawn of primitive technology, not in a quiet cave, but in the heart of a storm of teeth. While one raptor lunges, he abandons his spear and with a desperate roar, kicks out at the pile of rocks. It's an avalanche in miniature. A cascade of sharp minus-edged stone pours over the ledge. It isn't a single aimed strike but a chaotic, indiscriminate barrage. The effect is immediate and overwhelming. The raptors, built for precision, have no defense against the brute force of gravity. Cries of pain erupt as the stones strike heads and flanks, breaking their rhythm, shattering their grip. They scramble to retreat, their coordinated attack broken by a simple, brilliant act of using the world as a weapon. For a moment, there is silence, broken only by Kayla's ragged breathing on the distant cries of the pterosaurs. He has one. But as he peers over the edge, the relief freezes in his throat. The pack is not fleeing. They are regrouping on a wide ledge 50 feet below. In there, standing slightly apart from the others, is one he has not seen before. It is larger, the muscles in its legs like coiled pythons. Its snout scarred with a lattice of old wounds. The alpha. It ignores its injured pack mates. Its unblinking yellow eye is fixed on Kale. There is no rage in that gaze. There is something far worse, appraisal. It is watching, learning, analyzing the failure. It has seen his trick. And the cold intelligence in its stare is a silent promise that the next attack will not be so easily defeated. The sky's unblinking eye has now marked him. And the real test has just begun. The sun bleeds across the horizon, painting the clouds in hues of rust and bruised violet. Kale does not move. His vigil is no longer a solitary one. In the pre-minor storm gloom, silent figures had ascended the cliff: his father, his aunt, and 3 of the clan's strongest hunters. They carry no extra spears. They carry braided vine ropes, heavy stones, and sharpened stakes of bone and horn, the grim harvest of 100 other desperate encounters. This is the application of osteodontocratic technology, a lexicon of survival written in the remains of the dead. The alpha's intelligence demands an equal and opposite response. It is the defining trait of Homo sapiens, the ability to see a future that does not yet exist and bend the present to meet it. They are not merely defending a nest. They are reinforcing the covenant that allows them to exist. The plan is born of desperation and genius. Kale's the anchor, the bait, but the weapon will be the cliff itself, guided by human hands, working with a silent, terrifying efficiency. They rig a section of the cliff face below the whispering ledge. They weave a net of thick vines, studded with razor-sharp bone fragments, and anchor it with counterweights. A single, taut vine runs up to Kayla's position. One cut will release the weights and sweep the cliff face clean. As they work, they become a single organism, a human river carving a new path into the bedrock of instinct. And in their shared, desperate purpose, you can almost hear the whispered invitation if you feel the echoes of our struggle in your own bones. Subscribe to the Chronicle of Our Survival. The attack comes with the first true light. The alpha does not repeat its mistake. This time, the entire pack moves as one, a wave of scaled muscle and lethal claws. They ascend on a broader front, spreading out to make a single rockslide ineffective. The alpha directs them with sharp clicks, a general commanding an army. They ignore Kale. They target the less minus defended nests on either side. It is a brilliant flanking maneuver, designed to shatter the clan's formation and create chaos. But they are not fighting one boy. They are fighting a collective intelligence. High above, the pterosaurs shriek, not in panic, but in a rehearsed chorus of alarm. Several of the great flyers launch themselves from the cliff, diving not at the raptors, but at the empty air beside them, drawing their attention, herding them. They funnel the climbing pack into the prepared killing zone.
Careful
The alpha sees the ruse
and
at the last
constant
second.
vigilance become their only
It halts, hissing a warning. But it is too late. Kale slashes the trigger vine with his flint knife. The counterweight's full. The net of bone and vine sights across the rock face with horrifying speed. The attack dissolves into a nightmare of tangled limbs and piercing shrieks as the pack is torn from its holds and flung into the abyss. But the alpha, with its supernatural reflexes, leaps clear of the net's main sweep. It lands on Kale's ledge, a whirlwind of fury. Before Kale can even raise his spear, a great shadow descends. The mother pteranodon, her massive wings beating the air, dives. Her long, Carosano USB, designed for snatching fish, becomes a lance. It strikes the alpha in the neck. A single, devastating blow. The creature convulses and then is still. The covenant of stone and wing is sealed in the blood of their common enemy. In the quiet that follows, the wind whispers over the ledge, cleaning the scent of blood from the stone. The pteranodon mother lands softly beside her nest, nudging an egg with the tip of her beak before looking at the young human. A glance of ancient, alien understanding. Kale has passed his test. The clan has not just survived. It has evolved. This battle was not won with muscle or fang, but with foresight, cooperation, and the audacious belief that two species, separated by millions of years of human evolution, could forge a weapon more powerful than any claw or tooth thrust. This is the story of our ascent, not a steady climb, but a series of desperate leaps across impossible chasms. The intelligence that laid a trap of vine and bone on a cliff face is the same intelligence that would one day map the stars. It is the courage to stand on a lonely precipice, to face the monster, and to trust that you are not, in fact, alone. Their victory is an echo that still resounds, a testament to the moment our ancestors refused to be mere prey, and instead dared to bargain with the dragons for mastery of the sky. This is the bedrock of our defiance. And deep within the humid jungles of the mainland, a different kind of intelligence is stirring, one that does not climb or thrive, but shakes the very earth with its footfalls.